Hi everyone, welcome to another video in Excel tutorial. Today we'll be looking at creating charts in Excel. Yeah, we have these two data sets. We are here and we want to use it for learning how to build charts in Excel. So what we would start from is, before we build charts, I'm going to show you how to create tables. Excel tables make your data easier to manage, filter, sort, and use in formulas. So to create a table now, you need to select the data. For example, we have two data sets here, but we'll be working with this for now. So you can select the data, go to Home, go to Insert, and click not pivot table, table. Click on Table. It will bring out this box and show you the data range, which is from B3 to G8. You can see B3 to G8. That's the range it has selected. And what you have to do is, your table has headers. So yes, it has headers. You click on OK. Automatically, this has been converted to a table now. It's either it's a table or normal range. With this table now, you can filter, you can even add a slicer. If you go to table design, add a slicer to slice it, maybe slice it by salesperson. Click OK, bring it here. Any salesperson you click now is going to show for only that salesperson. Gloria, James, John, Mary. So Excel tables help us. Let's keep this aside. Yeah. So Excel tables help us to manage, filter, sort, and use formulas easier. It makes it easier to manage data. So that's what. So another thing, when your table is ready, you can add automatic filters. You see the alternating colors. You can change the colors. Okay, this for the data. You can click on the table design, and change the colors to anyhow you want it of that particular table. Let's also convert this to table. You can click, select here, go to Insert, Table. Okay, let's do it. There's a shortcut. You select here, I can do a Control T on my keyboard and it pops out this. But this now would actually select other ranges, and I don't want these ranges, so I can just edit my range and say it's from B15 instead of 13. It's from B15. Enter. My table has headers. Okay, yep. So it has converted this particular set table now. Let me make this white so you can actually see what we are doing. Okay, so that's it. Click on here, click, expand. That's to automatically expand the rows to fit what's inside. So this particular column, column expanded to fit in this remittance color cost company transactions. Yeah, we're okay like that. You can still reduce it a bit. Okay, so our tables are ready now. So why these tables are useful, the formulas can autofill. You maybe want to, you get a formula here, you want to autofill. Tables will help you do the autofill. And references are structured. For example, you can do this equals to this. It shows you references, the structure references, instead of just the cell. It shows you, okay, this is the fourth quarter in this particular cell times this, the third quarter. So you see, automatically it autofills the fourth quarter too. That's one thing that is good with tables. You don't need to drag down, because if converted to table, it just understands the whole data set. So let's do Control Z for that. We don't need that. Okay, that's what's just for explanatory purpose. So it auto expands as new rows are added. That's another thing. So if I say, let me put in here Italy, yeah, see what happens now. It's already waiting for the values. So already this has included in the table. Put 1000. So the table now expands. So it auto expands as new rows are added. That's one thing with the table. So once it expands like that, let's say we added here mark, enter, automatically you can see from here too if the slicer updates. So that's one thing with tables. It makes it easier to work with data. So we've controlled Z. And also tables helps work perfectly with pivot tables. So if you watch my pivot table videos, I don't remember if I converted it to table, but one thing that table does, it helps you work better with pivot tables. So another thing you can do, you can actually rename your table. You click on it and actually give a name to this table. Give a name to this table, call it sales table. They can actually reference it anywhere. Just do equal to sales table, can tap it in, it tells you, brings out the table here. That's one thing that is good with converting your data to tables. Yep. So next thing we are going to do is to create charts with this table. So converting to tables can also help us to create charts, which makes it easy to manage and understand. Chart helps you visualize trends, patterns, and comparisons in your data. That's one thing that charts help us do. So you select data for the chart. We start with this sales figure. Let's say we want to do total sales of each salesperson. Click here, insert a chart, and come down here. You can see recommended charts. Yeah, Excel can give you recommended charts based on what you've selected. So now we see this is a clustered column chart. I think this is a nice to use. Let's use this one. Click OK. Automatically, it gives us the charts. So looking at this now, you can see that James, you can see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, average. So the average is the line now. Week 1 is blue, week 2 is orange, week 3 is gray, and week 4 is yellow. So we can actually customize this chart to anything we want. First, let's start with the chart title. For chart title, you can double click it. Once you double click on it, what we just did was double click. Once you double click on this chart title, Excel will bring out on the sidebar your formatting side. So you can actually format the fill of this chart. Maybe the title, you want to give it a solid fill, you can select solid fill, but we don't need it, so put it at no fill. You can actually give it a border, a solid line. Solid line gives it a solid line border. If you move the hitting part, you can see now, but we don't need a solid line, we need no line. Make it glow, you can give it a shadow, anything we want. So for me, let's rename it first. Double click it, select it, and name it salesperson's revenue, or let's call it revenue by salesperson. Revenue by salespersons. You can actually from here select it and go to home and reduce the size. Let's give it a 10. Make it bold. Yep. I think that works better for me. So that's the first thing I do. Secondly, I might not like this line. If you don't like this line, I can click on the line, click on these grid lines. You can now have selected the lines. I can delete it, but let's bring it back. Let's give it that. Let's do Control Z. So that just showed you how to remove that, delete it. Very easy. Just click on delete and delete it, or you can decide to allow it to be. Yep. Next thing is the colors. So in beside the chart, you can always see we have three things: the chart elements, the chart styles, and the chart filters. Let's start with the chart elements. You click on the chart elements, you can see it breaks down into axis, axis titles, chart title, everything. So let's start with axis. Axis. So the axis, for the axis now, if you click down here, see the primary and primary vertical. On select here, see what happened. The axis here left, like we removed. can do for vertical too. Remove the axis on the vertical. If you don't want the numbers there, you just want it to be a plane, do that. You can go to axis titles, give it a title. Maybe you want to call that place is revenue. As revenue. You need to put it times. Might not need. Personally, I don't need. The axis title here too. Call it salesperson. Yep, salespersons. So somebody knows these are the salespersons, these are the revenue. But most times you can just delete it if you don't need it. Yeah, it's self-explanatory already. So that's another thing. Then still on our chart elements, we have the data labels. Yeah, I can put the data labels. Data labels show you information of each bar. If you click on it, most times it looks so messy. Why I don't use it when there's so much like this? If the graph is so much, I don't use it because it becomes clustered and a bit of chaos. So, and I know that when someone hovers on any of this column, it shows the value already. So most times I don't use it when the columns are too much. But you can also add a data table. Yeah, data table represents the data on the visual, both in the graph and as a table. So this table now is still represented inside here. You can still use it if you like it, if you want to present it that way. I've actually used it before and it made sense. Yeah, so but just want the graph alone, just show the graph alone. Then next thing are the grid lines. You can remove the grid lines just as you deleted it and select it and delete. Then another thing is the legend. This is the legend. Yep, the legend shows you what each color represents. Is very, very important. You can decide where the legend would be. You can decide how to format the legend. Click on, can be at the top. Yep, let's put it at the top. Let's put it at the top. Yep, then let's more options for the legend. You have it how you want to format it. Me, I can actually go home. It's on 9 already, reduce it to 8. Yep, and we have our legend on top there. Someone can actually know week 1 is blue, week 2 is green, is orange, it is gray. Very easy and straightforward. Then the next thing we can look at is the trend line. Yeah, trend line. You can add a trend line that is for analysis. If is it reducing, the sales reducing by each salesperson or increasing? So this one is used basically if it was a kind of a trend, maybe daily trend or monthly trend, it will show you if it's going down or if it's going up. That's what it's used for. Next thing is chart style. So in the chart style, you can work on the style, you can select any kind of style you want, maybe a dark field, you want it this way, you can select it, or maybe you want it any other way, select it anyhow you want it. Me, I prefer it to be clear. Then you can actually change the colors to the color you want. Let's say, for example, I want this chart to have unique one color, or so you can see change the tone of blue, and it gives you pretty much fine. Decide to make it one color, either all blue or all green or all yellow or all gray. Make sure it doesn't confuse the legend. Best would be select a color that actually has differences. Like let's select this color, like this palette. Okay, and actually change these colors too. To change the colors in the workbook, go to page layout, tap click colors in the theme. So we have themes, different themes you can actually use in it. You can also change the color by going to the page layout, themes. Go to themes here, colors. So you have different feel. It changes the theme of your whole report. Gives it what any feel you want. You can customize the colors, suits how you want it to be, and give it a name. So you can use it even in your other projects or your other sheets. So that's our first chart, revenue by salesperson. Once you use this chart to start creating dashboard, you can create a new sheet here, call it dashboard. What I like doing is go to view, see grid lines here, remove the grid lines, then go to the charts, click on it, Control C, you can control C it, copy it, come here and paste it. Yeah, can put as many charts as you want here. Call this dashboard. I have a dashboard, full dashboard ready, still in this Excel series, that after you've learned everything, you can put it as a project in your portfolio to really tell recruiters that you are very much conversant with using Excel or cleaning data, working with data, creating charts, using pivot tables. It gives you confidence. So yeah, that's our first chart. Yes, I actually wanted to show you that our slicer here can still slice these charts by, so you can see now we slice by Chris, slice by Gloria, slice by James. So anyone we want, that's the beauty of converting it to tables. So it gives you this slicer that can actually work with your charts too. So this is the average line. So you can see we have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Then we have the names of each sales person. Then this is the line for the average. It shows, okay, who had the highest average and at which time and at what time. So that average line now, you can actually give it a different color. You can see when you select it, it shows here line. Can make the line, can change the line color to maybe any color yellow. Show it. We can reduce the width of the line color. Yep, that's that. We can do the joint type to be round. Yeah, the joint type is round. Or we can actually make it a smooth line so it just runs like a curve. That's one thing with our charts. Yeah, I think we've pretty much touched the basics of charts. Once you do this, it's just to play around maybe with this, go to home, make it bold, any you want it to appear, do it on your home and font type. Want to make this, change it, can put it anywhere, put it by the side, put it, move it, include it, put it by the side, by the left or by the right, anywhere we want it to be. Let's leave it at the top. So our chart is pretty much ready. Another type of chart you can use, actually select this, insert chart, a pie chart. Let's use a pie chart. I will explain what you are doing. For a pie chart now, so we want to select the data that we want in our charts. For example, this chart, we want to see each salesperson, their average, like percentage of their average. For example, if I say, let me do here on this table, let's say percentage of average, enter. So this gives me this divided by sum of all these. Can make it as a percentage. Yep, that's what I wanted. So for here, can make this one. Yep. So if we drag down now, you see the percentage contribution of each average. This is 20% of the whole. This made 20% of it. This made 20. So you can actually represent this. I just wanted us to see this. So when I put it in our pie chart, we see it. So what we do, we want to represent what percentage of each person's average will show on the pie chart. So we can do this. So from here, we go to our chart design, we do select data. Once you select data, you can choose the data that you want inside your pie chart. We don't want the week 1, week 2 weeks. What we just need is the average. So we unselect all these and leave only the average. Then our horizontal is the salesperson. Then you click OK. Once you click that, you can see for average points for James is 16%, which is 3363. You can see the 16% we got there. Average points for John is 22%, which is the same thing we got here. So this now we can decide to format this chart. Say go to format, we add the data labels. Yep. But we don't want the labels to be values, we want it to be in percentage. So we can do percent, we can put it outside or inside, or be as a call out, but let's put outside. Let's see how we can make the data labels. More option is supposed to show me another thing. Okay, this one is supposed to show me. To make it to be as percentage, not value, remove the value part of it. So you can see for each person now, see the legend here. We can decide to make the legend here be at the top. Select the legend, put it at the top, and reduce this a bit too large, and make the legend be at the right. Yep, anyhow you want to present your data. So you can see, you can call here percentage of average. So now already we can know that 27% of the average came from Chris. You can actually work on the colors and give them distinct colors. Yeah. So it doesn't confuse you. Anyone you want, any color you want. You can do a control C from here, take it to where we put our dashboards and put it here. So now we've gotten two charts already. That's how we start to build charts on Excel. We've gotten our clustered column chart. We've gotten our pie chart. I think we can also do something with this other table. Set a chart. Let's insert a all chart. Let's insert a bar chart. Okay, setting a bar chart here. And delete this one. Bring a bar chart here. Extend it. Give us space. Yeah, bar chart. So in our bar charts, one thing we can do, we can actually sort it smallest to highest. Show us what is happening. Let's say we want to do just for total. Let's see total remittances. Total is equals to sum of everything here. Enter. Yep, gives us sum. Let's say we just want to do the sum of total. So we come here, come to our chart, go to our chart design, select the data we want. All we need is the total. So we unselect all these ones, click OK. So you can see total for each country from our remittance company transactions. Don't need this, so I can click on this and delete it. Total transactions by country. Yep. So we select here, go to home, make it bold, give it a 10. Then it's another thing you can look at. You can decide not to do this, use this, just click on it and delete it. We don't need this total in here. We have it on our header already. Delete it. So for each country now, we want to work on the bars. So you can go to here, either here. If you click here to still show it, click here to still show it. Work on the data. Let's start with the data labels. Give your data labels. Select data labels. Yeah, outside N. Okay, like that. So we don't need data table. Error by grid lines. We don't need grid lines. We don't need a legend. We don't need a trend line. So what we might need might be to increase the size of these columns. That's why I came here. So we can do gap width. We can reduce this gap width. Reduce it. Yep. The more we reduce the gap width, yep, the more it looks better for us. Yeah, so we have our column chart. It tells us clearly. We can decide to format it anyhow we want it. So that's what we have. You can see from here, we can decide to come here in the table and sort it from smallest to largest because going from down to up. I know that USA had the highest transaction by country and decide to change the color of this, the style and the color if you want to, just the color. Give it a blue, a darker blue shade. Yeah, you can also decide to change the color from the fill here. Solid fill, it's automatic now. You can decide to give it a solid fill of any color and change the color here. Any color you want. You can decide to give it a line. And also one other thing I'll need to show you, you can decide to make the background of your chart transparent. The background of your chart, you can give it a no fill. Yeah, and give it a solid fill and change the color maybe to a lighter color, anyhow you want it. It gives you the feel. So another thing, you can go and give it a solid border. Let's say you give it a solid border, give it a black border. Yep, that's the border. Then you can round the corners. So anyhow you want your charts to be, anyhow you want your charts to be, how you want to design it. And also give it shadow. Shadow from here. Give it a shadow from choose from your presets and we give it a shadow. Perhaps you can decide remove, make your border the same color with your chart so that only the chart the shadow shows. Go to border, border line, give it the same color, almost the same color with your chart. So here it shows only the shadow. You can see like the feel, how it looks now. You can give it solid feel. Yep, anyhow you want to play with it. That's about designing charts. So we've looked at this. See, and come here, give it a control V. So from here, and decide to say, okay, let me make all my charts look like this. Give it a solid feel. Yeah. Give this one to a solid feel, the same color. Change this color pattern to anything that's related to it. Yep. Actually do it. Go to border. Give it a solid line border. Go to rounded corners. Give it a rounded corners. Go to your shadows and give it a preset. No, automatically I've made the chart look like this other one. So that's how you start building your dashboards with charts. So I think that's brought us to our journey on charts. In this video, you've been able to see how you can convert your data to tables, add your slicer. Yeah, so that's it with charts. I think with this, we can introduce you into creating dashboards and doing a full project on Excel in the next video or in one of my series. Yeah, so if you've not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, like, comment, let me know your challenges, let me know what you want me to work on, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.